My, I'm Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen. But don't worry, I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and stuck at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Just like the woman on the other mic, Miss Gina Grad. She comes in here every Wednesday. Pour some sugar on me. Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely. Yeah. And by the way, folks, that, Gina and I were just talking in between shows. We record 2 or 3 in a row. And she said something just briefly, and that song popped into my head. Gina, tell me what you were saying about sugar and sprinkling. And
there was a certain cupcake shop. I don't know if they still do it.
We say the names.
Okay, I don't even know if it still exists, but there's Sprinkles. Sprinkles, like they were on every corner for a while here in LA.
In Calabasas.
Oh, they were everywhere.
Right next to Susie Cake, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ooh, that seems like a conflict. So, there were Sprinkles, they're like these big kind of heavy cupcakes, whatever, and they have those quote unquote vending machines, whatever. But they also would sell frosting shots where like one could go in for like 75 cents and get a shot of frosting in like those little, condiment like ketchup cups. And I would always see, what I'd be in Santa Monica or something around like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, tons of kids go in there and I go, after school, middle school and high school, kids going in for their frosting shot. So that was a thing. And I guess it was a marketing genius who was like, we're wasting a lot of frosting. We could just sell it. It costs us a penny. Let's sell it for 75 cents and get kids hooked on our frosting shots.
Okay. So obviously I've never been in the Sprinkles. I used to, I know it was there. It was in the Calabasas, Commons. But across the street from the Commons, the Commons Annex, which was built by the same guy, I think that guy ran for mayor in Los Angeles this past time around, Caruso.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he built that whole area.
Right.
And so at any rate, I used to pass by the Susie Cakes because it was right next to a coffee shop where I would meet Howie and the gang. We would all drink coffee right there. And of course, you can't help it. They would have stuff on display in the window.
Sure.
And it was the first time I used to talk about this on the show. Gina, stop me if I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
But it would be a cupcake. And then the icing was, I'm going to say easy 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And if I'm exaggerating, Gina, stop me.
No, that was kind of their thing. Like it almost seemed like it was the exact ratio of the cupcake itself. Huge. And that's the thing. Like, I get it. Like, you're a sugar person. I'm a salt person. But even for you, if you were to have some of that, would you go, wow, that's a delicious flavor? Or would you go, that's just a sweet assault on my senses?
That's I'm a sugar addict, but that's not my thing.
Right.
Right. I that's too much.
Yeah.
I can't say I've never had a Susie Cake because I did.
Everyone always brings them for birthdays and they're moist and beautiful looking and whatever.
Tallulah would come home with them half eaten. And I would go, how kids, they're like mice. They just eat a little piece.
Oh, yeah.
And I would go, let me check this out. And, especially if it was like red velvet cake.
Sure.
Thing. And I would go, oh my God, like one bite. And it's like your teeth would hurt from the icing would hit your gums and go.
Yes.
You would just go, oh my God.
Yes, because
being electrocuted.
I have an 8-year-old boy in this house who loves lots of stuff, but sour. He loves sour. He loves sweet. He loves salty. He loves spicy. Great palate for the most part. But sweet is one of those things where sweet is a flavor to them. Is it chocolate? Doesn't matter. Is it fruit? Doesn't matter. Is it just sweet? So he'll have me taste something and I'll start puckering. He goes, it's not sour. I go, no, it's so sour. I mean, it's so sweet. I'm making the same face. It's too sweet. And I'm lucky. Now I'm a salt person. And
right.
I need more salt in my diet like I need another hole in the head. But I'm lucky in the sense that I don't crave super sweet sugary things.
Yeah, it's I'm glad that I'm so far away from it. I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to see Sprinkles right across the road, right by the movie house, right next to the Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And I never walked past that one. I knew it was there. But they did the same thing, the 1 inch.
And they're same. And they're heavy, like just dense, heavy, like cornmealy sugar. It was never my thing. And then they started doing the vending machines where they're fresh every day.
I didn't know what that meant. Where are the vending machines?
Actually, sorry, I don't know if Crumbs or one of them does the vending machines. No. Their gimmick was Sprinkles was the ATM. So it was literally like you're putting your money in and like out pops one cupcake like it's an ATM machine. The gimmicks never stop.
No, everything around there. Again, I had a kid and didn't want to deny the kid when the friends I'm with, her and Emma, and we would go to Menchie's. They want, and we would allow Menchie's like twice a month.
Yeah.
And the rule was you guys can have, any flavor you want, one topping, and that's it. You pick one. That's it.
That's because this little guy in this house loves Menchie's, but I'm like, you don't even care about the ice cream. It's just the toppings.
They want to pour the toppings on it. And I would, that's how I was able to figure out if Tallulah's friends were serial killers, because if they put gummy bears on there, obviously this person's going to end up in jail.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By that point in my NSNG journey of doing that, when I would walk in that stench of sugar, it's kind of like when you walk through a mall or you pass a Cinnabon in the airport. Yeah. I can't even stand the stench anymore of it. The stench. It's a stench. It used to be, that's what draws people in.
Sure. That's why they do it.
But when you stay away from it for a long time, it becomes a weird smell to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad that I'm there. I'm just happy that I've been able to get there in my life.
Well, and for anyone who wants to dive back into the archive of this show, we used to do a bit where I would force feed, essentially, Vinnie a normal, regular, everyday junk food item that we've all had and we're all familiar with, and get Vinnie's reaction. And, I think, well, what's wrong with a Pop-Tart? Everybody loves Pop-Tarts. Even he's going to claim that they're great, even though they're bad for you. Vinnie, did you love Pop-Tarts when you tried them?
No, as a matter of fact, it didn't have any taste to it. Like I couldn't discern the taste. And I even, as you may remember, Gina, it was my first Pop-Tart in my life.
Yeah. And I thought, well, of course he's going to love this, but say, don't eat this, kids. Oh, no. All I remember is you saying is it has no discernible flavor and a waxy coating.
Yeah. It tasted like a chalky kind of thing, and it was kind of waxy. The sugar stuff on the outside did not taste like sugar to me.
No.
It was just this weird consistency.
Indescribable.
And we heated it up and everything. I did it right. Since we own a toaster, I had to put it in the oven.
It should be perfect. It should be delicious.
Yeah.
Oven roasted
Pop-Tart. And that one I had a real problem with, because it didn't even taste like a food source.
Yeah.
I think the reason we quit doing it is because everything tasted like a chemical to me.
Well, and the sort of the experiment had been proven. You didn't have to do it forever because we got our answer from it, with that all these sort of quote unquote normal food items that you've either had as a kid but we've all had. Vinnie was just like, I will be honest. If I think it is delicious, I will say I understand why people get addicted to this, but I don't really recall that ever happening.
No, as a matter of fact,
your taste buds have changed so much.
The two I really had trouble with. I had a lot of trouble with the Pop-Tarts, but you remember the egg-looking chocolate thing for Easter?
The Cadbury egg, of course.
And people are like, "Oh my God, I love the Cadbury egg."
They go insane for the Cadbury egg.
I love chocolate. Right? I couldn't eat it. I ate a small piece, and I had to eat the orange nougaty.
Uh-huh.
That was one of those chemical tastes.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the yolk?
Yeah, it was supposed to resemble a yolk. And of course, look, I didn't want it to taste like a yolk, but I wanted it to taste like maybe orangey and creamy.
Right. No,
it was just chemically.
It's a gritty, sugary fondant.
And you had me, the other one that really threw me for a loop was Tonio's.
Oh, the pizza rolls.
Yeah, what were they called?
Totino's or Gino's.
Totino's, yeah.
My husband likes to go down memory lane every so often with those. They're not my thing, but you ask any teenager, they've eaten a metric ton of pizza rolls.
I was shocked that day, and I think I wrote to you from the grocery store because I had to go and buy them.
Yep.
And first off, I had never heard of the brand
Totino's.
Yeah, never heard of it. So I wrote to Gina. I think I said, "Hey, is this regional or
is this a local delicacy?"
Because I figured there was a guy down the street, Totino's. He's got his pizza place, and now he's selling it kind of like Wolfgang does, right?
No.
So that's where my head went. But she was like, "No, you're going to find this in the grocery." I was shocked to go down that aisle because you're in an aisle. You see, every time I ever went down the refrigerator aisle, I was heading towards ice cream my entire life. That was the only reason for me to go there.
Right.
Right. And I knew there were frozen foods. Listen, I'm not stupid. I know what a tater tot is. I've heard of them. I'm sure I've had a tater tot. Right. I know I have. Right.
Yeah.
I know that they have frozen, Arita potatoes.
Yeah. Frozen French fries. And
yeah, I remember those kind of things. I had no idea that they were making things that's supposed to taste like a pizza that came in a little pillow about 1 inch long. And, I did them I did them in the oven. I did them to exactly the specifications and the whole thing. Could not understand why anybody would eat this.
They're like a sort of a crackly, indescribably textured coating with a little squeeze of like sauce and a cheese product and like a square of pepperoni, maybe.
Okay. If
you were actually, the thing I remember you were so shocked about, you're like, wait. At least on the box, which by the way, General Mills owns them. So it's not exactly a local fare. Right. On the box, it's exploding with cheese and pepperoni and sauce. And you bit into it and you're like, where is it? It's just a hollow coating with a little squirt of sauce in it.
Yeah, I was waiting for, look, I'm going to just be perfectly honest. I'm like you, I'm kind of a savory guy.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to them.
To the filling.
Like, I'm going to have trouble telling people I hate this because it's going to be pretty damn good. And no. It didn't taste like it didn't taste like it looked on the box. You're correct.
Yeah. Because I remember you being the look of betrayal on your face was palpable.
Yeah, look, I'm Italian. I was trying to make a leap in my head. With all these foods, I was trying to leap it in my head to convince myself that it tasted good. I just couldn't get there.
Because there's no shame or harm in saying, all right, I get it. You don't want to know the science experiment that goes into making it taste this good and tricking your taste buds. So I understand why it's so hard. I don't think that ever happened. You were just like, what am I eating? Essentially what I got from that is you saying without saying, how have the rest of you been brainwashed into thinking that A, this is what food tastes like, and B, that this is so delicious, you can't get enough of it. Because we've been conditioned to believe that this is delicious.
Yeah. And look, I bought the smallest pillow of it I can find. They had family-sized bags.
Yeah.
Right. So people are making, and by the way, Totino's was not the only brand.
Oh, no.
There was a row of this in the grocery store. The freezer was, stacked to the.
Vinnie, what you don't know about Hot Pockets could fill one of those freezers because they have the Pizza Hot Pockets and all of that stuff.
I've seen those, like, again, football commercials. They'll show like a Hot Pocket type thing. So I've seen that. And I'm getting it's probably going to taste like a Totino's, right?
I think. I haven't had those, but I imagine it's just a bigger version. But I'll never forget. I think it was in your PDF, which, by the way, everyone should get, and you'll get it for free if you're in the VIP club. But anyway, one thing you've said, and you said it live too, and it might be in your book. But when you kind of cleanse yourself of all of this crap that you are conditioned to think you love and it's sweet and delicious, once that's gone and your taste buds are sort of factory reset,
right,
a raspberry or a strawberry or whatever is going to be a taste symphony explosion because you're resetting all of that stuff. And I kind of laughed the first time I read that. I was like, okay. And I was like, I'll give it a try. And I'm like, oh my God, this is delicious. But I kind of ignored it. No, maybe it's a little sour. Maybe it's not as sweet as a Twinkie. It's not, which is why it's so damn good. And you are right. When you sort of reset your olfactory settings, everything does become sort of in Technicolor again. All the whole foods become in Technicolor again.
Yeah, in my book, Fitness Confidential, I call it remapping.
Yeah.
And any kind of car guy, recent car guys, not back in the days when you had to set points and condensers, but in modern cars, one of the ways you could easily soup them up is by re-chipping the engine. You know what a chip is. You put a chip in your computer and the whole
okay.
thing.
Yeah, sure.
So they re-chip the engines, and it might knock it out of warranty or whatever, but you're remapping the way the fuel goes in and the consistency of the fuel and just everything else. And you could get more horsepower out of an engine. I used to go to the racetrack, Willow Springs, Streets of Willow, with my motorcycles. Mm-hmm. And I was a club racer guy. I wasn't like a real racer. We were like Corolla and Company, but on motorcycles, guys don't mind, screwing up their equipment and fixing it and going out there again. And so I had a couple of bikes, and like this GSXR I had, this Suzuki, was just a track bike. There was no lights on it. We always kept the mapping just set for the track, right?
Right.
But I also had a Ducati that I would ride on the street, right? But if I wanted to see if I could skin that up on the track, we would get it there. And even though it was a Ducati it was a big 1 liter engine that was already more powerful than anything, we would remap it, right?
Got it. Yep.
And then when we were done, there's a guy with a laptop right there. We are the same with our brains. We can remap our brains for the track or for the road,
right? If
you will, right? And it's up to you to decide which way you want to go.
Yeah.
Right. If your brain is mapped to just sit there and go, oh my God, I can't make it one night without ice cream or 2 nights. The big one I get, Gina, what do you think is when I do the consults, what do you think is one of the biggest things I get? The biggest things people have, let me give you a hint. The biggest thing people have trouble giving up. The number one thing.
Interesting, because I would have guessed ice cream.
No, not even close.
Is it a food or a beverage?
Beverage.
Wine or Coke? No. Coke.
Close. Diet soft drinks in general. Diet Coke, diet, whatever, diet Pepsi, diet. People they will tell me, you can tell me whatever you want on this phone call. Don't even begin to touch my diet soft drink. Now, I will say, listen, give me 3 minutes on diet soft drinks. Just give me 3 minutes and you can just shut me off. Or I've gotten more people off of diet soft drinks in 3 minutes. I would just say, just break it for one. Oh, you don't understand. I can't break it. Or usually when they end up doing everything else right and they start losing weight, they're down
okay,
5 down to 350.
What else was he right about?
Why isn't it moving faster? They'll call for another consult after they lose 30, 40 pounds. You got to give up the diet. So no, if I give this up, then I'll go right back to eat. It's like, just cut it out. Just go hardline. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me. Inevitably, I get emails from these people. I get texts from them. They call me back. They can't believe how beholden they were to a drug. And it's not hard to break that. I don't care. You could be 10 sodas a day.
Yeah.
There's a viral clip on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it comes from like my 600-pound life or my 1,000 life. Mm-hmm. And I feel sorry for these women.
Yeah.
And she's, you can tell she's living out in the boonies somewhere, and my heart breaks whenever I see this. People send me this clip all the time. She's talking to a dietitian, and the dietitian says, well, what about soft drinks? And she goes, can't give up my sodies. Gotta have sodies. And then she gives this convoluted thing. She says, and I'm paraphrasing, she goes, my mama told me, it almost sounds like Forrest Gump's sister. Mama told me that when I have a diet soft drink, it cancels out high caloric stuff.
Oh boy.
So if I have myself like a hamburger, drink a soda, it cancels it out. And
look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but when you step on the scale, how can that be true? Look at what,
well, look, you don't get to 1,000 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
But you got to understand, this woman is of limited intelligence, and I feel awful for her. And, someone said something to her and she believed it. It's just like people hear stuff and they believe it.
Right.
Hey, when I first moved to Beverly Hills, started training people in 91, everybody was drinking a gallon of water a day. I was like, I got to drink a gallon of water a day. Why? Well, because Brad Pitt does.
Mm-hmm.
Really? You think Brad Pitt's sitting around drinking a gallon of water a day? He's fucking Brad Pitt. He wakes up and he looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah. He hit the genetic lottery.
Oh, but I heard that if you just, you drink water, it somehow magically it pulls fat out of your liver and you piss it away. Really? You think that's how we lose fat? Because, I have a degree in this, and that's not how we lose fat.
Yeah, that never once came up in any of the assignments.
Matter of fact, the only thing you're pushing out of your cock is a bunch of electrolytes that you now have to go take again. So congratulations, you're at 0. You idiot. Got to hydrate. Then you don't understand. Then you went to school 10 years ago. The science is different now. Science is different. No, human bodies haven't changed. Let me do this in the thing because Debbie's going to use this. See, people thought they could just drink tons of water and somehow magically all of that water was going to push the fat right out of their liver. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter. That's not how we lose fat. We're not just pissing it out, from our liver. It's just not happening that way. Right? So what is the issue? The issue is we hear these lies that drink a lot of water and you're going to lose weight, and then somehow it becomes a truth. And in fact, it's not true. Stay motivated. Okay. Sorry, Gina, I had to do it.
I love when you double dip and multitask. It just
look, I'm a busy man. I run.
It makes my heart sick. No, I respect it. And I get it. Drink enough water. I'm often dehydrated. They can never find a vein at the Quest lab when I have to give blood. I get it. You don't want to be dehydrated, but your body knows, right? Like you say, drink when you're thirsty.
Yeah. Your body knows exactly what to do. How is it my dog has it figured out and my dog is dumb. How does my dog know? How does my dog, hang on, maybe we can use this.
Take 2. Yep.
Yeah. How is it my dog has it figured out when to stop eating and when it's had enough water? My dog has that all figured out. Yet humans, we're supposed to be smarter than dogs, can't seem to figure out how much to eat and how much water to drink. Makes 0 sense. Stay motivated. All right, Debbie, that's a better take. Use that. All right, here we go. I love how Gina just sits over there. It's like, why is he paying me?
I respect it so much. I love a good multitask. But you're absolutely right. I appreciate it. And we all try to biohack, bro. And it's so nice. And like Adam Kroll used to say on our old show all the time, it's not sexy. The unsexy truth is diet and exercise. What are you eating? How are you making yourself stronger? It's not sexy. It's not sparkly, but it's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not rocket surgery, as they say. Gina, people can find you at
a couple of places, at myextraseries.com, where there's lots of good info and you can buy my book. You can also go to Facebook at My Extra Family. Lots of good content. I do it every single day. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with myself. Some top psychologists in the field have commented and love what I'm doing, which means so much to me. So My Extra Family on Instagram, My Extra Mom, the book on Amazon, which of course you get through clicking Vinnie's website, and My Extra Series, the website. And if you just want to hear me blab more, that's the Brian and Gina Show, the official podcast of LA Magazine, the Brian and Gina Show, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
This show is coming out on the 20th. If you haven't bought your Christmas gifts yet, you're fucked. But maybe if you get Amazon Prime, you might get next day delivery and that kind of, if you're going to do that, before you go to Amazon, go to VinnieTortorich.com, click through the banner. The Vinnie Tortorich VIP is closed right now. That's why we told everyone to get in when they had a chance. So we shall see. That's about it. So, on behalf of Gina, Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with just a little more of these guys.